Welcome to you joining us from afar. We're glad you're here with us in this very smoky day here in the Pacific Northwest. I'm Andrea, and I am delighted to be part of this incredibly vibrant community, and I hope you are too. Right now, I'm going to send you over to our band, and they're going to lead us in some singing.
Well, good morning, everyone. If you can stand, if you're able, let's sing into this day together. Anything is possible when you believe. You know, anything is possible when you believe. You can make a mountain move when you believe. You know, you can make a mountain move when you believe. Don't you know that you can change your life when you believe? Don't you know that you can change your life when you believe in yourself? In yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe. When you believe, you know we're gonna make a miracle. When you believe, and everything you want, you got. When you believe, you know everything you want, you got. When you believe in yourself, in yourself. When you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe, well, I believe in me, and I believe in you. We believe in each other. There ain't nothing we can do. No, 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 no. I said I believe in me, and I believe in you. We believe in each other. There ain't nothing we can do. Oh, anything is possible when you believe. You know anything is possible when you believe in yourself. In yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself. Woo, yeah! Thanks for singing along. Hey, take a minute to greet some of those neighbors out there.
We had a really good thing yesterday here from 10 to 12. It was your back porch thing. Yeah, it was really cool. There's like 30 people here. Let's kick it off. Yeah, gone.
So that's where something that they do, recognize them.
Well, good morning. Come back with us. We're gonna sing My Soul. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right nice. Well, I want to welcome all the kiddos who might be here to join our children's program today. Feel free to come up. Don't be shy. We're going to join our awesome teachers here up on stage for this next song. Indeed. Yay. Look at all these kiddos. All right, well, we're going to sing Hooray for the World and send them off to their classes. Please sing with us. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and animals too, and a sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. We got Mother Nature and the human race. All right, have a great class, and we'll see you after service.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Wanda Maddox, your practitioner of the day today, and assisting me today is Andrea Wood. And we're so glad to see each and every one of you here, making this beautiful connection. After those kids being up here and that song, I don't know how I could possibly do a prayer that would be anything that would be anywhere close to what we need, but let's try it. And we're welcoming that virtual audience as well. Join with me now, knowing the great, beautiful, light, bright of love, the presence that is everywhere. Every ounce of our being is filled to the brim and overflowing with joy bubbles of gratitude for the knowing that this presence is always, ever, and eternally present, and it is ours to claim, to know, and to be guided within, just as surely as it's within every blade of grass. It is within each and every living soul. For this great news, and for this wonderful, deep, beautiful, loving knowing, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. Sweet Spirit, always within, divine and precious, leading the way. And I say, as I release these words, and so it is. Thank you.
Well, we're going to move into some musical meditation together. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Sing that with us. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I am whole. 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 All I need resides in me. All I need resides in me. All I need. All I need resides in me. All I need resides in me. I am whole. 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 All I need. All I need resides in me. All I need resides in me. All I need. All I need resides in me. All I need resides in me. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole.
Thank you, everyone. Well, hello again. Glad you're here. This month we're talking about the places that scare us. What scares you? Let's see, what scares me? Oh God, all kinds of stuff. Maybe we shouldn't talk about it. No, I guess I'm supposed to. So today's talk is really about how to work with things that scare us And the topic is think bigger. So I'll explain that in a minute. You know, for me, my assumption is that you all are here listening because you really have a deep interest in the spiritual path, your own, as you've shaped it. And so that's one of the things I love about Centers for Spiritual Living, is that it really encourages people to walk the path that most resonates with their inner heart and their inner knowing. So if sitting in this room and listening to us on live stream, there's about as many people as are listening as are our paths. Some take it through recovery programs, some take it through Buddhism, some take it through mystical Christianity, and on it goes, Sufism, you name it, we've got it here, which is great. And so because I make an assumption that you're here because that's why you're here, you may have noticed something about the spiritual path when you really commit to it. Now, I'm not talking about, well, maybe I'll walk on a spiritual path, but maybe I won't. Maybe I will. When we were in Portugal, I insisted that we go to the town of Braga, which is one of the oldest towns in Portugal, but it's where the Camino goes through on its way to Santiago de Compostela in Spain. So some of us have a spiritual path that was sort of like what we did with the Camino. We walked about 1,000 steps so that we could say we walked on the Camino. I walked the Camino, just don't ask me how far. And so some of us have a spiritual path like that. Well, I have a spiritual path. I listened to Pema Chodron on a YouTube once. But most of you who are here are committed, and so you know what I'm about to say. See, the point of any spiritual path, and I don't care which wisdom tradition you pick, is to become conscious, right? To awaken. And hopefully in that awakening, to understand the connection of the indwelling divine, whatever you call it, the Tao, the Buddha in nature, whatever, and self. And so becoming conscious is the goal, right? But here's the problem with that. Because when you become conscious, the first thing you discover is why you stayed unconscious all those years. Right? I mean, it's like, oh no, maybe I can go back. But unfortunately, it's kind of like a butterfly that comes out of the cocoon. You can't shove yourself back in there. You're out for all the world to see. And so part of working with the things that scare us is working consciously instead of unconsciously with the things that are difficult for us, that scare us. I'm really aware in myself, and maybe you are too, that when I'm faced with something that's difficult or scary or anxiety producing, those are all words for the same thing. One of my tendencies that I've been working on for a long time is to eat. I love eating when I'm anxious. It makes me feel so much better. But then it doesn't, right? Then it's like, oh, no. Or I have a friend that loves to game. Now, there's something wrong with gaming, per se, but using gaming to try to go unconscious so that we don't feel anxiety. Anybody? Don't raise your hand. Anybody? Or anything else. It's these sort of deeply held patterns of comfort that we've adapted to, that when the going gets tough, we might kind of go back into. And while on one level, okay, we teach here that it's a perfection-free zone, and so okay. But it's not okay if you just sort of blank out and don't even know you're doing it. So becoming conscious of your unconsciousness is part of the game, and it's not very fun. So a lot of people, when they start stepping onto the spiritual path, they go about 1,000 steps and go, this is not fun. I'm going to just go back to Netflix and binge watch. I knew there were some of you. So we have to maybe embrace a different way. And that's not particularly easy. And so for me, I was listening to a couple of stories, which I do frequently, and these stories came out of Pema Chodron's work. And yet I've also heard them from a bunch of spiritual teachers. And it's that moment when a student has been, working as diligently as they can, but the habit energy of going back into unconsciousness is strong. And some of the ways that people go back into unconsciousness is they start being mean or unkind or angry or, fill in your own blank. And so she was working with Pema Chodron was working with one of her students, longtime student, who really was doing really well in many ways, had a basic goodness of soul, which we all do. But the habitual pattern when anxiety would hit or things got difficult, like traffic jams and stuff, was anger. And so anger was like the go-to. And so this particular person received a diagnosis of inoperable cancer. And Pema was saying, it was exactly what he needed. Because from that moment, all those habits fell away. Because he didn't have time to screw around. So she was with him in the car when he was driving, and sure enough, there's some sort of driving incident with a crosswalk and someone going too slow, and his normal reactions started to come up of being impatient and angry, and then all of a sudden he just dropped it. And he looked over and he said, I don't have time for this, right? He also had a really fractured relationship with his mother, and so whenever they talked on the phone, it was always kind of awful. And so he called her to let her know about this diagnosis, and she started right in with the pattern, because we get into conversational patterns with people, especially in our family. You? Yeah, me too. And so she started right up with the pattern, and he said, Mom, stop. He said, I don't have time for this anymore. You and I need to just love each other, period. And so a diagnosis or a change in some regard can certainly kind of help us sort of wake up in the middle of the habit and go, whoa, I don't want to be doing that old way. So that's one way we can work with difficult things, is to wake up in it, and start practicing. And that's what I was given. My teacher said, okay, your task is, you may find that you've gone into the habit, but your task is to stop yourself as soon as possible, name it out loud, and then stop. And that's embarrassing, because often my particular habit was with other people. And so I'd be going along and do the habit, and I'd have to stop and say, oh, I'm doing that. Sorry about that. And then move on as quickly as possible into a better way. Believe me, that works. So that's on an individual level, working with ourselves and the habits that we've developed around comfort and discomfort and things that scare us, and how we don't deal with them. We don't let the raw experience of what they are actually penetrate too far without retreating into some sort of comfort. But there's another way too. And this way is very, very powerful. Many of my teachers have, sooner or later, been involved with prison ministries and working with prisoners in high-level detention centers. And one of my teachers was working with a man of color that had murdered someone when he was young, like 18, 19, and he was in prison without parole for life. And so he had a lot of time to be thinking, and so he was very, very interested in the center's philosophy and the center's way. And my friend, my minister friend, worked really diligently with him for years, for decades. And it got to the point where this man was so clear about who he wanted to be in the world that nothing ever really upset him anymore. And of course, in that system, that particular, in my belief, prisons are places where the worst of humanity shows up in everybody. It's not a nurturing environment. Let's just put it that way. And so the guards often are just as brutal as anybody else there. And so there was this one particularly brutal guard that had it in for this guy. Just had it in for him. I think probably annoyed because he couldn't get a rise out of him. And so this man was in the yard doing something, and the guard started harassing him, and really, wanting this man to react so that he could punish him in some terrible way. And of course, our friend didn't do that. And it was really, really, really clear to the other prisoners that this was like completely uncalled for. And so after that whole situation kind of ended and they were back somewhere else, the other prisoners said, how do you do that? How is it your faith? Is that what keeps you from going there with this guy? And the man said, well, I've been here a long time, and I've received letters from the children of guards. And the children report that if their parent, who's a guard, has a really bad day, they come home and take it out on the children. So whenever I'm in a situation with this guard, I think of his children, and I don't want it to land on them. So that's a very powerful story, actually, if you think about it. And it illustrates another way of working with things that scare us in the world. Because there's a lot of scary things going on, you may have noticed. And one of the ways that we, as sacred humans, can make a difference, not only in our own growth spiritually, but in the world, I believe, is to be like that man and to think bigger about how we are in the world and understand that it's a ripple effect, that how we are affects how other people are and how other species are and how the world goes. And so, it's hard to see when we're in the middle of discomfort and wanting to retreat into comfort patterns or habit ways, lash out or whatever. And yet, the more conscious we become, the more we realize that actually we affect the entire world, maybe a small way, but a way where it ripples out, and our choices, our way of working with discomfort, our way of handling things really matters. I was reminded of this because I was reading about 9/11 and New York, and of course you probably all remember where you were if you were alive then. So the New Yorkers in particular were just in a state of complete distress. And so right after 9/11 happened, everyone joined together to try to help each other. And that lasted about a month and a half. And then it started to wear off. And so there was a New Yorker cartoon that came out at that time, and it was two women talking. And one woman saying to the other woman, it's I think I wrote it down. It's really hard, but I'm finally learning to hate people again. And, the habit is the habit. And I know that for me, I want to choose as often as I can to not allow the habit to take me into negative ways of being, and instead to continually practice thinking bigger about the consequences of what I say and do and even think, so that the world goes in the direction I want. because I have a very clear, don't you? I have a very clear idea of how I want this all to go. And right now we're not going that way exactly. There's a lot of us working toward that. But my understanding and my belief is that the more people who understand how important they are in the grand scheme of where we want to go, and important in the small ways, but still the ways, the more likely it is that we'll go there. I don't know what will happen with the environment and with everything else, but what I do know is the more we train in resiliency of the heart, being able to work with what scares us, the difficult parts, the difficult people, the difficult things inside of ourselves and outside, the more resilience we create of the heart, the more we'll be ready for whatever. And the more we can be like the New Yorkers right after 9/11 and join together instead of tearing each other apart. And wherever this goes from here, for sacred humanity, that's what I want. How about you? So I'll do a prayer for that. Here in this moment, I remember again that there really is a wisdom and a love beyond measure that is flowing and available all the time in all people. This wisdom and love have been offering and offering and offering for all time, from the beginning of time for sacred humanity until this very moment. Love and wisdom offering themselves. And the purpose of this prayer is to understand and know that I have a choice in every day and in this very moment to accept the offer. And I do. I choose to allow wisdom and love to flow in me in deeper and deeper ways, so that as I move in the world, I become a vehicle for that. A vehicle for love, a vehicle for wisdom, a vehicle for the unfolding in positive ways of situations that are difficult, people that are difficult, and the places inside me that are difficult. Love and wisdom is eternal. It carries within it everything that I might need to be able to offer this and myself more fully. And so I accept the offer. And I'm grateful to be sustained and supported in my intention to be the highest and the best that I can be in every moment. I'm grateful for that. I remember it in the difficult times. I'm glad to be awake. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we've got some ushers back there, and they've got baskets, and they're hoping to see those baskets have money in them, and we appreciate any gifts that you can give financially to this center. We're doing very well, which is lovely, because the only support we have are people like you and me. So thank you in advance for any gift you can give. All right, here we go. What are we singing?
Fun little sing-along. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness.
I love it.
Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Let's sing that again. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love, power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. We don't know what's coming. We can help shape what's ahead. With kindness as our currency, the commonwealth is in our hands. So give a little, give a lot, don't stop. helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Sing it out. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love.
The power of love.
Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love.
So we have a couple of announcements. For those of you who have been joining in, and for those of you who might like to join in to Conversations in Consciousness, which is a Zoom conversation that happens. Usually it happens on the fourth Monday of the month. But this month, we're going to be meeting tomorrow, the third Monday of the month. Can I believe it's the third Monday of the month? And so it's tomorrow night from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you need to email Kalish Leviel to receive the Zoom link. And her information is on our website, so you can definitely receive it there, or she's right here, and so she can give it to you as well. The question that we're going to be working with tomorrow night is, what is something that helps you enjoy life more fully? So a way to connect, a way to talk about where we are, and you're invited, and we'd love to have you. A couple of other things. Today at noon, the women's group is meeting, and we're meeting in the sanctuary because we have a particular workshop that we're offering the women that requires some space. So if you would like to stay and be a part of the women's circle, we would love you to be here, 12 to 1:30. It's in person, and it's going to be interesting because we're working with things that scare us. Now, death can be scary, right? Especially when we're not dead yet. And, you know, I mean, when you're dead, it doesn't scare you anymore. So we celebrate once a year Day of the Dead. And we celebrate this tremendous holiday as a way of honoring the fact that while people have died, love doesn't. And so it's a celebration of the love we have for people and animals that have passed from our lives, from our sight. And we set up altars, and we invite you to bring pictures or mementos or both. And the altars are going to be going up for next Sunday. And so you can start bringing in those things, if you would like, as early as next Sunday. And the altars will remain up through November 2nd. And November 2nd is actually, I think it's also, Heidi, is it All Souls Day? Yes. And Heidi is the one that helps us with Day of the Dead. She's an aficionado. And so we're actually going to be celebrating our dead and the love we have for them on November 2nd in the evening. And we would love you to be a part of it. We've invited the Threshold Singers to come and sing to us of our love and of our grief. And so the singing and the celebrating and the ritual will begin at 6 and be done by 8 p.m. So we'd love to have you be a part of this. If you haven't ever done it, it really is truly very meaningful, and we'd love you to be a part of it if you'd like. Now, I was in a really interesting team meeting with the group that we call the Earth Stewards. We have a core value of being good stewards of the earth, and we do a lot to help the center be more and more responsible. And we do a lot of looking into our own hearts about how we can be more of an earth steward, taking care of the earth in new ways and better ways. And so we got into a discussion about the holidays. And we started thinking that it might be really fun to have a group come together and just talk about how they have evolved their holiday traditions. Because many of us have. So a lot of us have, in looking at the earth and making decisions, we're making new decisions about how we celebrate and what we do with that. I know when I was a little girl, I don't know if this was true for you, but my dad loved tinsel. Anybody else have tinsel in there? And it had to be hung perfectly. Hence the perfection-free zone. Out of a childhood wound comes wisdom. Well, that tinsel is probably still somewhere in the Corvallis landfill. It doesn't degrade. And so I don't do tinsel, of course, for many reasons, but mostly because it's plastic. So we'd love to invite you into this discussion. It's going to happen after the service on November 6th. And we're just going to sit around and share ideas and talk about what, listen to what other people have done, maybe to up-level what we're doing in the holidays. So you're invited to that. And last but not least, I really want you to, you have ukulele coming up, a level 2?
Level 2 ukulele class. For those of you who took the first 6-week series with me, you're welcome to join in on this next one, which begins the beginning of November. But also, if you have previous musical experience, if you feel like you could hop on the ukulele pretty readily, or if you have a little bit of ukulele experience, you're welcome to join us in that second session. So you can send me an email. You can get it through the office and inquire about that. And 6 weeks long, and we have it here on Tuesday nights from 7 to about 8 p.m., and it'll go for 6 weeks right up until about December 14th or something.
Wow, fun. And I invited some of my friends. You've heard me talk about them. The Reverend Dr. Melissa and Reverend Z are coming on the 30th of this month. They're going to be speaking, and they're wild. They are wild, and they're wonderful, and I hope you'll come. They're doing the music as well because that's part of what they do. And then afterward at 12:30, so they're giving us time to, if you bring a lunch, have your lunch, or go get a lunch and come back. But at 12:30, they're doing a workshop based on John Sarno's work, Healing Back Pain. And they have really developed, they use it for everything, and they've healed things like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, as well as back pain and so many other things. So if you're interested in that workshop, they need people to sign up because they're only going to offer it if there's 10 people or more. So you can register for that on our website, and we'd love you to do that. And I'd love you to turn out for these folks. They are wacky and wild and deeply, deeply wise. So come and see them while I'm away helping my friend Reverend Sue with the Reading Women's Retreat. So right now, why don't we stand and we'll sing our way into the day. If you have questions, the Ask Me desk is in the back. You can ask them anything you have questions about.
For the sun that warms this body, for the earth that we call home, for the love that knows no boundaries, I am thankful. For the trees that line the mountains, for the sea and life it holds, for the source of inspiration, I am thankful. Love, light, life, fill me up. Peace, power, beauty, joy, fill me up. For the one infinite divine that is and ever was, I am thankful. I am thankful for abundance and growing, for the mystery unfolding, for each and every being, sacred truth we are knowing, for kindness and compassion and the courage to take action, for the law of attraction and the freedom to create. Love, light, life, fill me up. Clap, clap, clap. Peace, power, beauty, joy, fill me up. For the one infinite divine the earth that we call home, for the love that knows no boundary. I am thankful. And I'm so thankful for this community. Thanks for being here today, and we'll see you again soon. 1, 2, ready.